Elsewhere, I have touched upon the many cognitive biases that come into play when we engage with content online, and it is important to remember that these biases inform our engagement with content offline, and in fact interaction or engagement with most things in our social environments. No discussion on biases within the context of digital literacy and netizenship would be complete without some coverage of the terms filter bubble and echo chamber. My aim is to briefly cover these concepts here. Since 2012 and the publication of Eli Paris's book, The Filter Bubble, there has been a huge amount of writing and thinking surrounding the role of filter bubbles, a term coined by Paris, and echo chambers, especially following the political upheaval in the US and UK in 2016, and especially in studies trying to understand the particular information environment brought about by COVID-19. These terms are often used interchangeably, but are, as Dr. Richard Fletcher of the Reuters Institute for the Study of Journalism has highlighted, in fact, slightly different. According to Fletcher, filter bubbles describe a situation where news that we dislike or disagree with is automatically, and here automatically is important, filtered out, and this might have the effect of narrowing what we know. Echo chambers, meanwhile, are when we are exposed to news that we like or agree with, potentially distorting our perception of reality because we see too much of one side, not enough of the other, and we start to think perhaps that reality is like this. Sometimes this happens as a result of that automated filtering, hence the creation of a filter bubble. Sometimes this is due to our own actions. Fletcher goes on to discuss the difference between us being responsible for the personalisation of news, for example, i.e. when we each choose what we read, perhaps through subscribing to one print newspaper, for example. This he terms self-selected personalisation, and pre-selected personalisation, which is when an algorithm or another method makes a selection for us, sometimes without our knowledge. Here we could cue YouTube's algorithm. So, strictly speaking, we need to be careful how we apply these terms. As I have said elsewhere, it is an interesting intellectual pursuit to think about how to define different social scenarios. It can help us bring some order to the confusing mess which can be our social experience. However, it is not worth here getting bogged down in all the detail. What is useful to note is that whilst echo chambers are possible online and offline, our digital world has brought about a specific germ of echo chamber, the filter bubble. In other words, we could see the filter bubble as a specifically digital challenge we need to acknowledge and be ready to overcome.